Are you eating breakfast every morning, doing everything right, yet still wondering why the fat won't budge? Your energy dips, your focus drifts, and your metabolism feels stuck. Let me tell you what's really happening inside your body. The problem isn't that you're eating breakfast. It's how you're eating it, what's in it, and when you're having it. Your first meal of the day sends powerful signals to your body. Get that signal wrong, and you keep your system in storage mode all day. Get it right and your body shifts into fat burning mode before you even realize it. Think of your metabolism like a high performance engine. It doesn't just run on calories, it runs on hormones and timing. If you fuel it with the wrong mix at the wrong time, it stalls. That's why so many people say, I'm eating breakfast every day, but my waistline hasn't changed. The common myth is that any breakfast jump starts metabolism. But the truth is, what you eat and when you eat, it mattered just as much, maybe even more than simply eating early. Research shows that your first meal doesn't just wake you up. It controls your insulin for the next 12 hours. It sets the tone for your liver, determines your fat-burning potential, and shapes your cortisol rhythm, the hormone that handles stress and energy. Do breakfast wrong, and you trigger inflammation, store fat, and feel sluggish. Do it right, and you unlock steady energy, sharper focus, and a metabolism that burns clean all day long. Today, I'll walk you through why your morning meal can either accelerate your metabolism or drag it down. You'll learn how to build a breakfast that resets insulin, supports liver function, calms cortisol, and gets your body out of storage mode. By the end, you'll understand why most breakfasts fail and how one simple shift can change your entire day. So if you want to burn fat naturally, feel sharper, and slow down aging from the inside out, let's start by rethinking breakfast. Stop treating it like just another meal. Start treating it like your daily metabolic reset button. Now, when you wake up, your body isn't starting from zero. It's already in motion. Your metabolism begins its day with a delicate hormonal dance involving three key players: cortisol, insulin, and glucagon. Knowing how they interact is the foundation for keeping your fat-burning switch turned on. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Between 6 skirt and 9 your cortisol naturally rises, and that's not a bad thing. It's your body's built-in alarm clock. It tells your liver, release some glucose. The brain needs energy. It also tells fat cells to release fatty acids for fuel. That's your body preparing to burn energy and move. But here's where most people go wrong. They wake up and reach for a high-carb or sugary breakfast, cereal, toast, fruit juice, and suddenly two opposite signals collide. Cortisol says, burn fuel, while insulin released in response to all those carbs says, store it. The insulin surge immediately locks fatty acids back into fat cells, shutting off fat burning for hours. Think of it like this. Your metabolism is a hybrid car. In the morning, cortisol turns on your gasoline engine, your fat-burning system. But if you pour sugar into the tank right away, the system instantly switches to the battery mode, burning glucose instead of fat. Once that switch flips, fat burning pauses, sometimes for the rest of the morning. That's why so many people say, I eat breakfast, but I'm exhausted by 10 a.m. What's happening is simple. They spike insulin early, crash their blood sugar later, and never give the body a chance to tap into stored fat. Studies confirm this. Keeping insulin low during the first hours of the day dramatically increases fat oxidation, meaning your body burns fat more efficiently. A 2024 meta-analysis published in Frontiers in Endocrinology found that people who had higher protein, lower carb breakfasters increased post-meal fat oxidation by nearly 30% and maintained better insulin sensitivity for 12 hours after eating after. So how do you use this? You work with your cortisol, not against it. Let that natural morning rise do its job. Release stored energy first. That means delaying your first meal slightly, or breaking your fast with something that doesn't spike insulin, like water, black coffee, or green tea. Then when you do eat, make protein and healthy fats your focus. If this makes sense so far, stay with me, because next, we'll talk about the second key to keeping your metabolism stable all day long. It's what I call the protein anchor, the one nutrient that decides whether your body keeps burning or crashes before lunch. If cortisol is the spark that wakes up your metabolism each morning, protein is the anchor that keeps it steady. Most people start their day with the wrong kind of fuel: bagels, cereal, smoothies loaded with fruit, or that oat milk latte that looks healthy but sends blood sugar through the roof. These foods trigger a quick burst of energy followed by a crash. By mid-me, hunger creeps back in. Focus fades and cravings take over. Here's what's really happening inside your body. When you wake up, your metabolism is waiting for an instruction, a message that tells it what to do next. Store energy or burn it. Protein delivers the right signal. It's more than just a nutrient, it's a command. Protein activates the hormone glucagon, which does the opposite of insulin. While insulin stores energy, glucagon releases it. So when you start your day with enough protein, you're literally programming your body to keep burning fat. Let me simplify it. Picture your metabolism as a campfire. If you start your morning with sugar, that's like tossing dry paper onto the flames. It burns fast, flares up, and disappears, leaving you cold again in minutes. Protein, though, is the log that burns slow and steady. It keeps the fire alive for hours, giving you stable energy and keeping you in fat-burning mode well into the afternoon. Science backs this up again and again. A 2024 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who ate at least 30 grams of high-quality protein at breakfast showed higher levels of satiety hormones like PY and GLP-1. They also burned more fat and snacked less throughout the day compared to those who started with a high-carb meal. Another review in Nutrients confirmed that protein-focused breakfasts help preserve lean muscle, the body's natural fat-burning engine, even during weight loss. So what does this look like in real life? A fat-burning breakfast doesn't mean piles of bacon or buttered coffee. It means a smart mix, lean protein, healthy fats, and minimal carbs. For example, 2 or 3 whole eggs with extra whites, sautéed spinach, and half an avocado, or a protein smoothie made with unsweetened almond milk, a scoop of clean whey or plant protein, chia seeds, and a handful of frozen berries. Even plain Greek yogurt with walnuts, cinnamon, and flaxseed does the job beautifully. The key is hitting the right threshold, around 25 to 35 g of protein in your first meal. That's the sweet spot where you activate muscle protein synthesis, stabilize blood sugar, and keep insulin low for hours. You're not just eating food, you're sending clear instructions to your metabolism. When your first meal is built around protein, everything changes. Your glucose curve flattens, your cravings drop, and your energy stays consistent. Instead of chasing caffeine or sugar to get through the morning, your body runs smoothly on its own stored fat. Now let's talk about where this process truly begins. The command center that determines whether your body stores or releases fat. That place is your liver. This organ does far more than detoxification. It decides what your body does with every bite you take in the morning. Think of your liver as a traffic controller. Every nutrient that enters your bloodstream passes through it first, and every morning it faces a decision. Do we burn today or do we store? That choice depends entirely on what you send it. If you start your day with refined carbs and sugary drinks, your liver gets flooded with glucose. Its limited glycogen tank fills up fast, and when there's overflow, it has only one option: convert the excess into triglycerides, which are stored as fat. That's why even healthy breakfasts like orange juice and cereal can lead to stubborn belly fat over time. But when your first meal is low in sugar and rich in protein, something very different happens. Your liver senses a mild energy challenge and flips on a biological switch called AMK, adenosine monophosphate activated protein kinase. You can think of it as your body's internal fat-burning switch. When it's on, your liver stops storing fat and starts using it for energy. Here's a simple way to visualize it. Picture your liver as a factory manager waiting for orders each morning. If you send in sugar, it locks the warehouse and starts stocking boxes, fat storage. If you send in protein and healthy fats, it opens the gates and starts shipping those boxes out, fat mobilization. Research backs this up too. A 2024 study published in Cell Metabolism found that people who ate a high-protein, low-glycemic breakfast had higher EMPK activity and better insulin sensitivity throughout the day. Within just weeks, their liver fat decreased even without cutting calories. This shows why what and when you eat in the morning matter far more than counting macros or calories. If you delay breakfast slightly around 12 to 14 hours after your last meal and break that fast with protein and minimal carbs, you supercharge your fat-burning pathways. You also give your liver the time it needs overnight to finish detoxifying, stabilize blood sugar, and reset. A simple way to do it: hydrate in the morning with mineral water, black coffee, or green tea, and when you finally eat, focus on that protein-anchored meal, at least 30 grams of protein, healthy fats, and fiber. Skip fruit juices, cereals, and refined grains that reverse the fat-burning signal. When you start doing this, you'll notice more than just better energy. You'll feel mentally sharper, lighter, and more in control of your hunger because your liver isn't just filtering toxins, it's orchestrating your entire metabolism. And when you give it the right fuel, it can transform how efficiently your body burns fat throughout the day. In the next part, we'll take this one step further: how syncing your breakfast with your body's natural circadian rhythm multiplies your fat-burning power and turns your metabolism into a rhythm that works with you, not against you. Your metabolism isn't just about what you eat. It's also about when you eat. Every cell in your body runs on a built-in 24-hour rhythm called the circadian clock. This internal timing system tells your hormones, enzymes, and mitochondria when to turn energy production on or off. And here's where things get interesting. The way you time your breakfast can either amplify your fat burning or silently block it. Here's what's really happening inside your body. In the early morning, cortisol and adrenaline rise naturally to wake you up. They signal your liver to release stored fuel and get your muscles and brain ready for the day. Around this same time, your digestive enzymes and insulin sensitivity are at their highest, meaning your body is most prepared to handle food efficiently. If you align your first meal with that natural rhythm, not too early, not too late, you get a metabolic advantage, you burn cleaner, you store less, and your energy stays steady. But when you eat at the wrong time, even healthy food can work against you. Most people fall into one of two traps. Some eat the second they wake up before cortisol has had time to stabilize. Others delay eating until mid-afternoon, long after their body's insulin sensitivity has dropped. Both patterns confuse your internal clock. The results? Sluggish fat burning, irregular hunger, and inconsistent energy. Let's simplify it with an image. Think of your metabolism like a solar panel. It generates the most energy when the sun is high, not before sunrise and not after sunset. Your body works the same way. It performs best in daylight, especially between 9 a.m. and 100 p.m. That's when your hormones, enzymes, and mitochondria are all in sync. Eating your main protein-rich meal during this window tells your body, we're aligned with nature. Keep burning. A 2024 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that people who ate a high-protein, low-carb breakfast between 8 g.m. and 10 a.m. had better glucose control, fewer cravings, and higher fat oxidation than those who ate the same meal after 11. Another study in Cell Reports Medicine showed that aligning meals with daylight improved mitochondrial function and reduced visceral fat in just 8 weeks. The takeaway is simple. Eat with your light, not your clock. When you align your meals with daylight, your liver, pancreas, and fat cells work together like an orchestra instead of scattered instruments. Everything moves in harmony. Here's how to put it into practice. After waking, wait about 60 to 90 minutes before eating. This allows cortisol to peak naturally and mobilize stored fat first. Break your fast between 9 and 10 or a.m. with that protein-anchored meal we talked about. Then finish your last meal at least 3 hours before bed when melatonin rises and insulin sensitivity falls. Aim for a consistent 10 to 12-hour eating window every day. That predictability helps your circadian genes reset and keep your metabolism responsive. If this resonates with you, take a moment to subscribe or share this message. I post science-based tools daily to help you sync your habits with your biology, because once you start living in rhythm, everything changes. Sleep gets deeper, focus sharpens, fat loss feels effortless, and energy becomes steady and calm. Now that you understand how timing influences your metabolism, let's look at the next layer: what you eat to fuel this rhythm. Because even if your timing is perfect, inflammation can still block your fat-burning machinery. Chronic low-grade inflammation quietly slows metabolism, raises insulin resistance, and accelerates aging. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. When you eat refined foods, get poor sleep, or live under constant stress, your cells become inflamed. That inflammation makes insulin less effective. When that happens, your mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your cells, can't efficiently turn fat into energy. You end up feeling bloated, foggy, and tired, even if you're eating healthy. But the right foods can reverse that damage and reignite your metabolism. Let's talk about 5 anti-inflammatory fat-burning foods you can easily rotate into your breakfast to support your mitochondria and slow cellular aging. First, extra virgin olive oil, the metabolic shield. Rich in oleic acid and polyphenols, olive oil activates your fat-burning switch and silences inflammatory genes like NF-kappa B. A 2024 study in Nutrients found that daily olive oil intake improved liver fat metabolism and reduced oxidative stress in overweight adults. Add a teaspoon of cold rest olive oil over eggs or greens. It keeps insulin low and fat oxidation high. Second, wild berries, nature's antioxidant crew. Blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries are packed with anthocyanins that protect your mitochondria from oxidative stress. Combined with protein, they flatten your post-meal glucose curve and feed your guts good bacteria. Toss a handful into a smoothie or Greek yogurt, flavor and fuel in one move. Third, pasture-raised eggs. Nature's perfect breakfast food, loaded with choline, B vitamins, and healthy fats. Eggs help your liver metabolize fat and keep your brain sharp. Research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that protein-rich breakfasts with eggs increase fat oxidation by 20% for the next 24 hours compared to carb-heavy meals. Fourth, avocados, the hormone stabilizer. Their monounsaturated fats, potassium, and fiber regulate cortisol and support balanced testosterone and estrogen, key for both fat loss and longevity. A Frontiers in Nutrition paper from 2024 reported that daily avocado intake reduced belly fat and improved insulin sensitivity within 12 weeks. Finally, turmeric with black pepper, the inflammation catalyst, curcumin. Turmeric's active compound suppresses inflammatory cytokines and boosts mitochondrial energy output. Black pepper increases its absorption 20-fold. Supercharging results. Sprinkle the combo into your morning eggs, smoothie, or even golden tea. When you include these foods regularly, you're not just burning fat. You're repairing the very systems that control fat storage. You're calming inflammation, feeding your mitochondria, and setting up your body for smooth, natural energy all day long. In the next section, I'll show you exactly how to combine these foods and habits into a single morning blueprint. A simple, repeatable ritual that stabilizes insulin, keeps energy high, and keeps fat burning switched on from sunrise to bedtime. Now that you understand how timing, cortisol rhythm, and anti-inflammatory foods all work together, it's time to bring it all into one simple system, a real-world morning routine that anyone can follow. Because the truth is, fat loss isn't about one single food, drink, or supplement. It's about the sequence of small actions that send the right hormonal signals from the moment you wake up. Think of it like setting a chain reaction. One good signal leads to another, until your metabolism is fully aligned for the day. Let's build your science-backed fat-burning breakfast blueprint step by step. Step 1. Delay breakfast until cortisol peaks. When you first wake up, your cortisol level is naturally high. That's not a problem. It's part of your body's system to release stored glucose and fat for energy. If you eat right away, especially something carb-heavy, you interrupt that natural process and shut down fat release too soon. Instead, give your body time to use its own stored fuel. Wait about 60 to 90 minutes before your first meal. During that time, hydrate with mineral-rich water, green tea, or black coffee. This keeps insulin low a little longer and encourages your body to keep burning fat before food enters the system. Think of it as giving your metabolism a head start before breakfast even begins. Step 2, break your fast with protein and healthy fats. When it's time to eat, your goal is to stabilize insulin and tell your body stay in fat-burning mode. The formula is simple: 30 grams of protein minimum plus healthy fats, fiber, and phytonutrients. For example, try 3 whole pasture-raised eggs plus 2 extra whites, half an avocado, and a handful of spinach sautéed in olive oil with a pinch of turmeric and black pepper. You can also add a few low glycemic berries on the side for antioxidants. Prefer a smoothie? Combine 1 scoop of clean whey or plant protein, 1 teaspoon of chia or flaxseed, 1 teaspoon of olive or MCT oil, half a cup of frozen berries, and unsweetened almond milk. Blend it up and you got a breakfast that supports mitochondria, reduces inflammation, and balances hunger hormones for hours. Step 3, hydrate for energy. Most people underestimate how much water affects metabolism. Even mild dehydration slows fat burning by reducing energy production inside your cells. Every morning, aim for half to 1 liter of water with a pinch of sea salt or electrolytes. It helps your body absorb nutrients, supports digestion, and keeps your liver's detox pathways running smoothly. All crucial for fat metabolism. Step 4, time your caffeine. Coffee isn't the enemy, but the timing matters. Drinking it immediately after waking can spike cortisol higher than needed, which backfires later in the day and raises insulin. Instead, wait at least an hour before your first cup. Have it after or with your protein-rich breakfast, not before. You can even add a teaspoon of MCT oil or collagen powder for a smoother, longer energy release without crashes. Step 5, move your body after eating. Within 30 minutes of finishing your meal, go for a short walk or do a few minutes of light stretching or mobility work. This simple habit can make a massive difference. Movement after eating increases glucose uptake by your muscles by up to 40%, which keeps blood sugar stable and insulin low. It also activates EMPK, your body's fat-burning switch. You're not trying to do an intense workout here. Just move enough to tell your body, we're using this fuel efficiently. Step 6, maintain the burn throughout the day. Once your morning rhythm is set, your metabolism stays flexible for the rest of the day. You'll notice your cravings fade, your focus improves, and your energy feels even and natural. You won't need constant snacks or caffeine hits. Your body will start relying on stored fat automatically. Here's the real magic. You didn't force fat loss with restriction. You created an environment where fat loss happens naturally. You allowed your hormones to align, your liver to stay clear, and your mitochondria to stay active. This is what metabolic flexibility feels like: effortless, steady, and sustainable. If this framework feels useful, make sure you hit subscribe and stay tuned, because in the next section, I'm going to connect this morning blueprint to something even bigger: how these daily habits build long-term metabolic health, slow down aging, and stabilize your energy for life. Because your breakfast isn't just about fuel, it's a message to every cell in your body. And when you send the right message each morning, your entire biology listens. In the next part, we'll explore how this exact morning sequence improves longevity, protects your mitochondria, and balances your hormones, not just for fat loss, but for a longer, stronger, more energetic life. Here's something most people overlook. Your morning routine doesn't just affect your energy or hunger. It rewires how your body ages. When your mornings are stable, your entire biology stabilizes. Every meal, every hormone, every cell follows your lead. So, when you get that first meal right, you're not only burning fat, you're building longevity. Let me explain what's happening inside your body. Every cell runs on a 24-hour clock known as the circadian rhythm. This internal timing system is guided by light, temperature, and food timing. When you align your eating schedule, especially breakfast, with that rhythm, you send a powerful message to every cell. We're in sync, we're balanced, we're burning, not storing. Repeat that message daily, and your metabolism begins to reprogram itself. At the heart of all this lies your mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside every cell. They decide how efficiently you burn fuel, how much energy you feel, and how quickly you age. When your mitochondria are strong, fat burning feels natural. When they're weak or overloaded, everything slows down: your mood, focus, and metabolism. The good news is that your morning habits, protein, hydration, and movement activate a powerful genetic pathway called PGC1 alpha. This pathway tells your body to build new mitochondria. Think of it like upgrading your body's internal engines. More engines mean more energy, better fat burning, and slower aging. A 2024 review in Nature Metabolism found that circadian-aligned eating, like delaying breakfast slightly and prioritizing protein-rich at first meals, significantly increased mitochondrial efficiency, reduced oxidative stress, the root cause of cellular aging. This means your breakfast habits directly influence how younger cells behave. There's also a deep connection between inflammation, insulin, and longevity. When these two are balanced, your body stays in repair mode. But when you start your day with a glucose spike, think toast, cereal, or juice, you trigger oxidative stress and fat storage that speeds up aging. Inflammation rises, mitochondria weaken, and your cells spend the day putting out fires instead of repairing themselves. Now, here's the exciting part. You can reverse that process naturally. When you eat in alignment with your biology, delaying breakfast slightly, choosing high-quality protein, healthy fats, and anti-inflammatory foods, you lower fasting insulin and boost longevity genes like SIRT. These same pathways are activated by fasting and exercise. You're not just eating smarter, you're teaching your body to repair and rejuvenate. That's why people who adopt this breakfast protocol often report more than weight loss. They feel mental clarity returning, their sleep improves, energy lasts longer, and their mood stabilizes because their hormones and brain chemistry finally work together instead of against each other. Let's talk about that emotional side for a second. One of the most underrated effects of balancing insulin and cortisol is what it does for your mind. When your blood sugar is stable, your brain produces serotonin, dopamine, and GABA in balanced amounts. Neurotransmitters that regulate calm, focus, and motivation. That's why so many people say, "I feel like myself again," after fixing their mornings. Because metabolism isn't just about fat, it's about feeling steady, confident, and clear. So remember, your metabolism doesn't need to be forced, it needs to be guided. And that guidance starts every morning. You don't need extreme fasting, endless supplements, or complicated diets. You just need a morning sequence that works with your body's design. When you wake, hydrate, delay food slightly, and then break your fast with protein, healthy fats, and anti-inflammatory foods. You sending the clearest message your body understands. We're safe, we're stable, we can burn, not store. Your liver, hormones, and mitochondria all respond in sync. Over time, this single shift compounds into powerful results.